This is Mr. Barrett. I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing to make your calibration curve. This is the only way that you can interpolate exactly what the concentration of your unknown is. So it turns out what this is right here is a known. This is copper sulfate, which has copper ions on it, which makes it blue. And the concentration is 0.40 molarity. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this solution and we are going to learn how to dilute it to get what's called the calibration curve. Now to do this, your data table has 5 test tubes, and what this shows you is that you're starting in test tube 1 with 0.4 molarity, and you're going to dilute each successive test tube down to a lower concentration. That's what gives you that graph that allows you to figure out, to compare your known concentration, which is this, with your unknown, which is the copper solution from the penny that was dissolved. So what this table shows you is that you're going to have to pick some volumes of this and pick some volumes of this. And your first one is, I would like you to start with entirely just this and none of that. Now, how do we transfer the liquid? Well, we're going to be using a device you haven't used before. This device is called a volumetric pipet, and it only has a measurement for one volume. It says 5 on it, and the top here it has a line. When you get it, the volume of whatever you're collecting to that line, it's exactly 5 milliliters, or at least it's much more precise than other equipment like a graduated cylinder you see in the background back there. So what you do is you're going to have to learn how to draw it up. No, you don't put your mouth on it and draw it up with your mouth. What you're going to do is you're going to use this bulb, which is kind of fancy. So what it has is a bunch of valves that you're going to use to draw up your liquid. And I want to show you how to operate the valves. So we have here our bulb, and the valves are these little things that have letters on them, S, E, and this top one, I don't think I can see a letter. I think it says A there. So when you pinch it, it opens the valve. When you let go of it, the valve is closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pipette here and I'm going to put it into the valve. I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is not recommended at all. And I'm just going to show you how to practice transferring liquid. And again, I'm going to try and do it one-handed, which is hopefully impressive. So what I'm going to do is, as you know, when you take any pipette, you squeeze it, and then you let go and it draws up the liquid. Well, what this does, you pinch the top, which opens the valve, and then I squeeze it, and then I squeeze out the air through the top, because that's the only valve open. Then I let go of the valve, and then I let go of the bulb, and you'll see, because there's none of, all 3 of these valves, none of them are open, no air is being allowed to get back in there. So in a sense, I'm reducing the air pressure in the bulb, which will allow me to draw up my liquid. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the water here. I'm just going to try practice drawing up the water. And what I'm going to do is draw up the liquid by squeezing this valve where I have my fingers on it. This one right there. So when I pinch on it, what's going to happen is my water should start going up the volumetric pipette, because there's lower pressure here than there is in the outside atmosphere, and liquid should start rising. So let's see if we can see it rise. There it goes. So I'm going up, and again I want to get to that line and keep squeezing it. Uh-oh, I ran into a problem. So my bulb has already deflated. Well, it's already inflated. So to continue drawing up the liquid, I'm going to squeeze the bulb and then push the top valve. And then I can continue my procedure that I'm following, where I'm drawing up the liquid. There it goes, up and up and up and up and up and up. Oh, I went past the line. I don't know if you can see the line there, but I went past it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to let the liquid out. What I do is I now push this valve, and I carefully pinch it so that what happens is the liquid descends slowly till it's at that line. And if I go too far, I can always draw it back up again using the other valve I showed you. Oh, there we go, I'm right on the line. Now I'm ready to transfer my liquid into something like a test tube. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the air push the water back down the test tube by pinching that valve. Takes a little practice, but you get used to it. Now that's one way I can transfer liquid using a volumetric pipette. What you're going to be doing to do your dilutions, you're going to obviously need to make very precise measurements of the volume. To do it, we're going to use this volumetric pipette, which has a volume of 5, and this guy right here, which is called a volumetric flask, and this one only measures to 25. So 5 into 25 is a 1/4 dilution. So if I put 5 of what I'm starting with here, and then I fill up the rest of the volume up to the 25 milliliter mark with water, what happens is my concentration is 1/4 of what I started with. And what we're starting with is 0.4 molarity. So each test tube should be 1/4 as concentrated as the one before it. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in class.